Allow the waves to meet your feet. Stop holding back, look towards her. Open my hand to see. Sleep it off as I walk closer. And I flood myself with ideas. From the ocean they come. Quickly turn to right, the thoughts flow. Take it from me, I'll be fine.
Alright, so sorry for the wait, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. That was like almost 4 minutes of just music. I am sorry about that. The thing is I hit start on the stream and then realized I don't have any water and I cannot. What the fuck? Okay. I realized I can't do talk for an hour without some water. It's not a good idea. I also have like an energy bar here, so if you guys hear me munch that, I'm so sorry. Hey everybody, how are you? What are you guys up to? What are you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are having a good Monday. If it's not Monday for you, then I take that back, and I hope you're having a terrible time. So, today we're going to be talking about grinding. But first we'll look at the chat for a second here, just to see what you guys are on about. Coca-Cola font, you kind of sounded high. I'm not high. I never get high. I don't smoke weed. I don't do drugs. I don't drink alcohol. All of the things that I'm not against them, I just don't do them. I guess I'm against me doing them because personal reasons. They opened a Discord chat today. I don't know. We will decide in the end if I have the energy for it. This is gonna be kind of a quicker one, so you guys can just multitask. If this is on your phone or computer, you could just minimize it and get about your day. Playing your games and stuff. So we'll just talk here today. Yeah, but no, I wasn't high. I just honestly found it that funny. I don't know why. So let's just read the chat. What's up, you beautiful bastards? Where's Boom at? Sorry, I'm here now. Good Rainbow Six video. Thank you, Reaper. I really enjoyed making that one. What state do you live in? I live in Idaho. And are you going to live stream Black Ops 4? Yeah, probably at least a couple times. I'll mostly be doing, like, when the game comes out, I'm going to mostly be making videos on it and reviewing it. So, I'm just adjusting my mic. Sorry if that's annoying. Okay, so grinding is the subject of today's podcast. And the reason I wanted to talk about grinding is primarily because of the Division. Now, those of you who have watched my channel update, a while back, I said that I bought the Division, and I've used it I think I've used it for gameplay once or twice. Okay, so I started to think about grinding, because grinding in video games is a very important aspect. I consider it to be a mechanic if it's done right. And for most games, there needs to be something for me to grind towards. And in this podcast, I'm going to try to get my thoughts out and maybe actually get a direct opinion as to what makes me sit and grind a video game. But before I do that, I need to turn on a light in my room because it's way too dark. For all the people watching this in post, too bad. It's like, what, you have anything better to do? Probably. Okay, so. Here's the thing. In grinding in video games, there needs to be some sort of primary base goal. So, if you think of a game having multiple levels of incentives, goals, reasons to play it, every game that requires any amount of grinding needs to have an underlying base goal. This is its core Christian values of itself. You know what I mean? This is its core value. This is the reason you're grinding it in the first place. Is what I'm trying to describe. An example of that, so you guys know what I'm talking about, in Final Fantasy 15, you know, just like any good RPG, you want to grind because then you get better stuff, and the better stuff allows you to take things down faster. Monsters, dungeons, endgame raids, all of that. So, with a lot of games, I feel like there isn't that incentive. Whereas when you have an RPG, of course, you want to be stronger so that when you go to take down enemies, you're not a piece of shit, and you're actually able to take down enemies. But there are some games that I don't consider to be very grindy, and that's actually a bad thing. Let's use Destiny 2 as an example. Destiny 2, after I got to a certain point, after the launch of the game, I would say about 2 months in, there was no reason for me to grind the game anymore. There wasn't any weapon sets to aim for. There wasn't any gear to grind for, and I didn't want to grind it. And that's an unfortunate thing because clearly there's a design flaw in your game if leveling up has an end point, a strict end point, a strict cutoff point. I always thought Destiny should have 100 levels. But no, it only has like, what, 30? You get 30 levels, and then after that you get level 30 stuff, and then you use the level 30 stuff to do level 30 things, and then it just loops. Because grinding propels the game. Once the grind is over, the game will begin to loop. And an example of that would be playing Call of Duty and getting to a certain point in your progression, prestiging, and leveling where you just, well, you get to a point where there's nothing really for you to play for. Your kills aren't really adding up to anything. Maybe it's because you already have it or you don't want it. Like, it's just a dumb cosmetic you don't care about. There's some people I know that don't grind Call of Duty games because they think gold camo's gross or diamond camo's gross or none of the cosmetics on offer are interesting to them. So their kills aren't adding up to something. And in my opinion, they always should. Everything you do should be filling some sort of progress bar. And that's what's so addicting about games like Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy. Is that every time you slay an enemy, you are rewarded with XP. So every enemy you kill brings you closer to being the strongest version of yourself. This is something that I don't know how game developers get so bad. Especially Ubisoft. Fuck. I mean, Assassin's Creed Origins, I like Assassin's Creed Origins and its leveling system so far. But what I just can't wrap my head around is why they launched Ghost Recon Wildlands without any sort of progression system. An open world game with no proper progression system. And I mean a real progression system. I don't mean their stupid tier system. I mean like an actual in-game economy and leveling system that encourages you to grind. You have one of the biggest open worlds in gaming, and no reason for me to like explore it and play through it. Once you have everything, you just have everything. You just do whatever you want. And a good video game for me when it comes to open world games, like let's say Far Cry 5, a good open world game like Far Cry 5 will keep me playing because I'm constantly interested in the things I can earn. But with games like Far Cry 5, in their actuality, like Far Cry 5 itself, I have no reason to want to play fucking Far Cry 5. Why the fuck would I want to play Far Cry 5 right now? There's a couple of guns I don't have, but as you play through Far Cry 5, the game gets less grindy. There's no good quality endgame content that you can play through, and that's bad. Because Ghost Recon Wildlands is just like, oh, you find the intel spots. The intel spots tell you where everything is. You just go to map points, kill bad guys, and grab the weapons. You'll have everything within the first 2 weeks of playing if you play it every day or every other day. I would say every other day after 2 or 3 weeks you'd have everything in Wildlands. And then you're just killing bad guys and completing missions. But there's no real purpose to it. There's no real feeling of accomplishment for me. And maybe this is stupid, but if there isn't a bar being filled that says, look, if you put in 6 hours today, if you put in 6 hours, you will feel as if you just put in 6 hours. Your level will increase. So in Kingdom Hearts, your level increasing might mean more defense, more attack, more magic, more abilities, and that's exactly what I goddamn want. That's exactly what I goddamn want. And it's like developers are really scared of making games with big, complex RPG level progression systems. And I've heard people say, well, it's a good thing because I don't have time to play those games. It's like, then don't play them. If you don't have the time to enjoy an RPG style game, that's fine. But Far Cry 5 is like, it's so scared of actually making you work. And so I don't play it. I spent $90 on the thing and I just don't play it. I don't sit and play it. I could hunt. Good God, guys. I could play that game for 5 hours a day, every day for a week, and really have nothing to show for it. There'd be nothing worth doing that for. And I can only play it with one friend at a time in the actual open world, and they're tethered to me so they can't actually go and explore by themselves. So, like, the list of incentives goes down as you play the game, because also enemies become fewer and farther in between. It's just frustrating. The thing, like, Division, in my opinion, so far, and I'm not far enough in it to have like a real definitive opinion, I like the Division, but I sense something coming with it. I sense reaching a point where then I just start looping for the fun of the experience. Why isn't a giant portion of the development time put towards making a very long line of progression that will take you a long time? I'm over 100 hours into Final Fantasy 15 and I'm not max level. And I goddamn love that game. There's something that keeps me coming back to it, and that is that I want Noctis in the game, the protagonist, I want him to be stronger. I want my character to be stronger so that I can do harder things and kill level 100 enemies. That sounds really fun. Because Final Fantasy 15 boss fights, if you're under-leveled, are asinine. And it's kind of cool. The game will kick your ass or put you in these like 2-hour-long battles if you didn't prepare. And it's like Destiny and Division have this thing where it's like you have to get to a point where you can then do these things at that point. Do you know what I mean? It's like you get to, let's say, okay, with Destiny, it's like you get to level 30, and then you get level 30 stuff, and these things could have different abilities, different pluses and minuses, and you can spec into different things, different tiers. And so you can help your friends in raids and in Nightfall Strikes, but it's like, it loops. You've already looped yourself. And I don't mind looping. Like, the thing is, in Kingdom Hearts, I will fight a million Heartless. I will fight a million Heartless in Kingdom Hearts. I will spend hours just looping areas to kill enemies because I know it's every time it's making me stronger. Every goddamn time it's making me stronger. And like Destiny, it's like you get to this certain point, which will only take you maybe a month, maybe a couple months if you don't play it as much, and then you just loop the same things over and over again. Like, I don't get that. You would think that the development time of the game, a decent portion of the development time for a game, would be to making sure that the player is occupied with wanting to be better. Hey, new sponsor. Oh, thank you, Jingles, for sponsoring. That's my good friend Jingles. Thanks for sponsoring me, man. You pay my rent. I owe you debt of gratitude. Oh, you dropped a little grump head in my... Oh, it bounced out. Yeah, Jingles. You guys know Jingles? He's been in my gameplays. He biffed Kavera, and I put the Roblox sound over it. It was hilarious. Anyway. So going back to what I was saying is, like, I'm always worried about getting to a certain point and then just being done. And just then, like, okay, now I will loop this if I continuously enjoy its gameplay style. And what I want in a game is for the game to encourage me to be stronger through good game design. Kick my ass until I'm a higher level. I like that. And Division and Destiny do that to you for a while. But then I can see that fucking fuse going out, wick going out. I can see that flame getting doused quickly. Now you have little grump heads. I don't know. I can't resize them. It actually says they're too big and then it makes them smaller, which is kind of annoying, but whatever. So, okay, so if I'm going to sit down and play a game, like I said, it has to encourage me to be stronger so I can do better things. If the only reason I'm leveling up is to reach some sort of midway goal where then I just have to do all the endgame content and then I'm done until new updates, that's frustrating. Like, okay, so someone asked, Boom, what kind of incentive would you give for, hypothetically, your own RPG? I would make it so that every level increases in difficulty in the range to get it, obviously. So, like, level 1 is easier to get to than level 2, and then it goes on from there. But every level would increase a stat or an ability. And I'm basically just directly copying Kingdom Hearts 1. Because it's so good. It's so satisfying. Every time you parry an attack, you get a point or 2 points. Every time you kill an enemy, you can get upwards of 10 points per kill. Every time this happens, you're working towards better defense, better attack, more abilities, the ability to roll, the ability to do this attack, the ability to do this attack, the ability to do this attack, the ability to do this, it goes on and on and on from there. I would make it so that the player, I would try to make it so that, I'm not a developer, I would try to make it so that the player constantly feels like they're being productive. Everything makes them more productive. 500 levels that increase in difficulty so that if you are dedicated to my game, by the time you reach level 500, I will have obviously enemies that scale up to those levels and enemies that can only be beaten at those levels, but it would take you months and months, maybe a year to get there. And maybe it's not about reaching that end goal, but maybe it's just the fact that you are always getting stronger. Are there flaws in that system? Of fucking course there are. There are so many things to work out, and it's more complicated than that, but that's like my baseline incentive. Everything needs to make me feel productive. So I'm going to explain to you guys something I'm doing in Kingdom Hearts 1 right now in my free time, which is pretty much any time my friends aren't online. So basically what I do, and did you guys fucking coordinate that? Good job. So you, um, boom. That's clever. So you guys, so what I'm doing, okay. So what am I doing in Kingdom Hearts? Lose my train of thought. In Kingdom Hearts, in the starting area, you can battle Sora, the main character's friends on the beach, and there are these like kind of like little goof around battles. You have a wooden sword instead of the main keyblade, and you parry attacks and attack people. And that's a really cool thing because they make it so that you feel so productive even in the starting area that I'm trying to get to like level 50 or 75 without leaving the starting area. Every time I block an attack, I get points. Every time I take down one of the kids, like one of Sora's friends, and I win the little match, I get points. Every time I parry, block, and kill. I mean, it's not really a kill, but you know what I mean. I get points. And so just playing around in the tutorial area makes me feel productive because I know I'm making Sora stronger for later levels, and it'll be more fun to play when I feel like my work has paid off and now I'm a goddamn tank that kills things in one hit. That's a great feeling. That's a great feeling. And I feel like it's one Destiny could have capitalized on, and I hope games, you know, MMO light games is I guess what they're called, or lifestyle games like Destiny or Division, like Destiny 3 for instance, or Division 2. I hope they really capitalize on that style of you are always being productive towards yourself. Because I hate it in Destiny when you get to level 30 and then you just get these fucking level 30 guns and you just mostly dismantle them. Oh, this one has a better perk, I guess I'll keep it. Oh, this one's pretty much the same, I'll just get rid of it. I guess I'll store this one, it looks kind of cool. And then just loops. And then you just get in this fucking horrible loop. This horrible, stupid loop. And then it's like, yeah, you might like the game. And that's the thing. With Destiny 1, I liked the game enough that after I got to the endgame stuff, I just kept on playing. And I had no problem with just playing the game regardless. But I still know, you know, deep down in my heart of hearts, I know that after a certain point, I really wasn't doing anything. I wasn't doing anything. What was there to do? What was there for me to do? Nothing. So okay then. A video game needs to grab me by my shirt collar and demand my playtime. Does this sound like I'm asking too much? Sorry if you guys hear my protein bar open up. Does this sound like my standards are too high? And I actually want you guys to let me know in the comment section and in the chat live here. I'm looking for kindred spirits is, I guess, a way to put it. I recently heard that in a video. Do you guys feel like the games you like the best are the ones that when you're not playing them, when you're not playing them, they're kind of grabbing you? Is that a weird thing to want? I feel like that's a pretty hey Jack Hampson. Hey Jack Hampson. I feel like that's not that high of a goal. It's just the game should demand my playtime. Some games like Rainbow Six and Overwatch, Mario Party, Sonic All-Stars Racing, I don't need to grind those games. Those games are for me to fucking screw around with my friends. Those aren't important for that. In those games, I just like the game mechanics and the competition. Or certain games like, I even like Ghost Recon Wildlands because it's fun to do co-op stuff with your buddies in it. And that's cool. But ideally, the games that I don't just enjoy for the mechanics with the competition and cooperation, when it comes to the games I'm going to be spending my time on, I want them to be like, hey man, you could be a higher level. If you were playing right now, you'd be at that high level now. If you didn't stop playing last night, you'd be at a higher level. And I kind of like that little bit of obsessive tendency that I get with a really good game. Mmm. That's a damn good bar. I think that's fair. Right? I mean, come on, that has to be a little fair. I want games to have incentives that keep me playing. So that when I'm not playing them, I wish I was. Sorry, something on my monitor. I'm trying to get it off. Alright. Just by fucking punching it. Alright. Play Fortnite with me? Fuck off. So, Call of Duty has an interesting leveling system. And it's inspired by RPGs. There's no way it's not inspired by RPGs. The leveling system in Call of Duty, I think, is really good. They could do so much more with it, and they really need to. Because I think it's one of the incentives that makes Call of Duty interesting. Is that the perks, attachments, cosmetics, and, unique weapons make the game really interesting to me. And it's been one of the things that hooked me with Call of Duty from the beginning. And in Call of Duty, if you're trying to get to max prestige, every fucking thing you do is productive. Like, how do I even... That is the most important thing to me. I feel like. And maybe that's a dumb preference, and you guys can disagree with me. But for me, that's important. Like, in Call of Duty, when I'm playing it, I really like the fact that I call an UAV, I get points. I collect a dog tag, I get points. I get an assist, I get points. I get a headshot, I get more points. And that goes up and 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 up. That's a good feeling. Because I have a goal. Does the prestige system in Call of Duty need work? Yes, it needs to be way more incentivizing. It could do way more to encourage me to do it. But if I want to get there for bragging rights, for having a cool icon next to my name, every little thing I do in a match is going to, help with that. And that's one of the things I liked about Battlefield 4 as well. When trying to level up when trying to level up guns in Battlefield 4, it's like every kill feels like it holds just like an ounce more water. You know what I mean? Like every kill is just a little bit above the average kill. Because you're not just getting kills so that the enemy isn't killing you. Of course, that's what you're doing, but you're getting kills to help your team so that you survive, and you're progressing to get more attachments and more cosmetics. So every kill you get is filling this progression bar. I'm not saying every game is good if they have this type of system. Obviously, gameplay matters more than the progression, and I will never say it doesn't. Again, Rainbow Six Siege, I think, is way better than a lot of Call of Duty games. Currently, to me in my life right now, that is my honest opinion. Some Call of Duty games are just horrible in comparison to how Rainbow Six plays as a game. And that's just my, when it comes, I'm really talking about my preference there, guys. But here's the thing. Rainbow Six doesn't really do that. Every game you do will get you renown, and renown can be used to buy cosmetics and memes and stuff like that. But really, though, you're not trying to, you're not trying to level up the gun to get attachments on it. You know what I mean? Especially now that all the attachments are free. It's really just about the gameplay itself. So that's obviously way more important than a progression system. But a progression system is such a nice little cherry on top of the sundae. It's so nice to see those bars fill up and knowing you're going to get something for that. And I think this is the reason I personally hate loot boxes. Because in Halo 5... No, I'm going to go back before that. In previous Halo games before Halo 5, you had to earn your armor. If you wanted to customize your Spartan's armor, armor. If you wanted to customize your Spartan's armor, you had to level up and get enough points or complete certain challenges, and so you had to work for your cosmetics. Novel idea. Working for your cosmetics. Just a fucking nuts idea. And then Halo 5 comes along. It has some cosmetics you can earn, but it's mostly in loot boxes, or in that game it's called rep packs. That's annoying. Because what could have been an interesting incentive for me to grind your game is now RNG and a reason I don't like your game. If all of those cosmetics in Black Ops 3, all the weapons, were able to be earned through unique challenges and progression bars, God, I wouldn't have stopped playing. Who fucking knows what level I'd be in that game by now? But there's nothing that's going to make me gamble my time. Maybe sometimes I'll be in the mood for a game that has RNG in it. You know, sometimes I'm in the mood for Black Ops 3. Sometimes I'm in the mood for Battlefront 2. Well, that's kind of a lie. But either way, sometimes I might do that. But you literally are removing a feature and adding a hindrance. Because I feel like giving players an incentive in your virtual world is a feature. And it's been overlooked for too long. I sound like a robot. But really, think about it. Has it not been fucking overlooked in some games that didn't need it? Like Far Cry 5 is a good example of a game that was like, we could give players reasons to continue grinding our game, but it could be just as fun to not do that. And that sucks. You know, that really fucking bites, honestly. Like, what an asshole thing to do. Because you see, I lose my train of thought during this podcast if I don't have notes, and I'm just doing kind of a freestyle one. That's some wet water. Wow. Okay, so in conclusion, to this part of my point, I don't dislike RNG because it ruins the gaming industry. I don't like RNG because it ruins my kills. RNG ruins your kills in some games. Isn't that fucked? It ruins your kills because suddenly your kills don't have that extra ounce of water to them. That extra ounce of weight behind them. That says, not only am I helping my team, helping myself, I'm also working towards an overwater goal. It's amazing. Far Cry 5 was such an amazing game, but that was what killed it. Exactly. That's why I'm not playing it. They could have spent an extra 2 months adding in guns, more and more weapons, unique weapons, 4-player co-op, no leashing to the host player would be nice. And you could have actually had, with actual, enemies that are less sparsely placed towards the end of the game, and an actual economy that makes sense, instead of it just being like, okay, yeah, hunt, sell things you hunted for, buy the guns, you have the guns, you're done. Maybe you'll buy a pair of pants you think looks good on your character, but that's about it. And that's just unfortunate. Far Cry 5 should not be meh. But Far Cry 5 has already released a horrible DLC. I think they're about to release another horrible DLC. That's going to be incredibly boring. And yes, I'm already kind of laying my chips down on that one. But guys, I'll tell you what. That's my standard. That's where I am right now. You need those incentives to keep your players fascinated, in my opinion. Like, I'm tired of games coming out and falling victim not to bad code or bugs or crashes, but just being boring. That's the worst thing your game can be. Grinding's important. Grinding isn't just something you do because you're bored. Grinding is something that keeps you from being bored. I'm not saying games don't get boring when you grind them too long or if they're annoying to grind. But bettering your virtual character and bettering yourself in the game through playtime and trials and tribulations. Why is that such a novel concept? Why is that such a novel concept to people? Because look at the games that don't have those types of systems. Like Far Cry, like Wildlands. Do you see people just like hardcore Far Cry 5 players? Or hardcore Ghost Recon Wildlands players? No. The only Wildlands players I know that are hardcore are like the cringy ones that treat it like some sort of actual tactical milsim, which is... But, there's a reason that like the Final Fantasy players still play Final Fantasy 15, and it's the same reason I do. There's stuff to do. There's always something to do. There's always a hunt to do. There's always a quest you missed or something. There's always a weapon you can upgrade. There's a dungeon that you forgot or a part of the dungeon you didn't complete. There's always something to do. There's always something to do. That should be every game developer's motto when they're fucking making these games. There should always be something to do. Should be something they're chanting in and throughout the halls. Because when you get to a point in your games where you're looping, where there could be progression, even if you enjoy the loop, like in Wildlands or Division or Destiny, and you enjoy the loop, and that's the thing you enjoy to do, you're still looping where there could be progression. That's ass. These big multi-million-dollar games that somehow, when it comes to me, they don't seem to care if someone like me who wants a more fulfilling, thick experience, they don't seem to care if I want to play. They don't seem to care if I get bored in 3 months, because these types of games keep coming out. This podcast is sponsored by Nature Valley. It's not. It's not sponsored by Nature Valley, but I wouldn't mind if it was. They make good granola bars. You kids want some chewing ASMR? Everything should make the player feel productive. If I feel like I'm wasting my time on your game, you haven't made a good game. If at any point I feel like my killing of enemies, my hunting of animals, my taking of bases means nothing, there's no permanency to it, there's no point in doing it, you've made a fucking stupid game. That's what that's my... Okay. Ghost Recon Wildlands is a fun game. Ghost Recon Wildlands is a fun game, but you take a base, right? You go to a Unidad base, and you can clear out every enemy. You restart the game, and they're all back. There's no permanency, and you're not really working towards anything while you're doing it. It's just there for you to do. I'm not saying I haven't had fun doing that. Me and my girlfriend, or Dylan, my friend Dylan, you guys have seen him, Exalted Shaman. He used to be Gillian the Bush. I prefer his old gamer tag. Fight me, Dylan. I hope he's just sitting at home. He's just like, wow, I'm just trying to enjoy dinner and I feel attacked. But that sucks. That really sucks. When you get into games that are just like, there's no permanency, there's no real point. There's some like small like whisper of a progression system that's like, oh, well, you can make this gun do more damage, or oh, you can get this cosmetic. It's like, oh, fuck. Like, why? You have billions of dollars. I know. Development teams don't have billions of dollars for every little thing. I know. But if you're gonna, like, if you're gonna make fucking, if you're gonna expect me to play the game after it comes out, like a year or two after it comes out, how about you dedicate some time into making sure everything I do is fucking productive? Like, Call of Duty World War II. Oh, let's talk about that. Call of Duty World War II. They're just now stating that soon there's going to be max prestige awards. If anyone at Sledgehammer is listening to this, which I know they're not, but let's just pretend, I don't fucking care about your game anymore. I'm about to burp right in the mic. There we go. So I don't... So unprofessional. I'm just mad. I'm mad. I'm mad. Oh, that Predator boss fight in Gears of War. Ghost Recon's bullshit. It's stupid. I hated that. Super boring. Sorry, maybe that's too cynical for you guys, but fuck, that was boring. So the thing is with, like, Call of Duty World War II is, like, look, you had come on. Like, you didn't think to add a couple of your guns into max prestige rewards? You didn't fucking think. You didn't think to add one of your 50,000 supply drop weapons into a fucking prestige reward. Really? Really? That's just... How many months are we into the fucking life cycle of that awful game? God, I've defended it as just being boring, but the more I think about it, the more it's just... It's more than boring. It's disappointing. Okay, that's like... Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... 9 months into a Call of Duty. 9 months into a Call of Duty. And they're like, hey, we'll give you something for playing. You fucks. And we don't even know what they're going to be. I bet it's going to be some stupid cosmetic outfit. You should be given 10 supply drops when you prestige. You should be given a gun of your choice when you prestige. It takes a while. It's important. Like, I liked the update they did with the unlimited sprint and stuff. I actually genuinely do. I think that was cool because the meta shift made it interesting to come back to. Even if I didn't agree with everything in the patch, and some things should have been left alone, it was interesting to come back to. It was interesting to come back to. After, you know, not playing it, and it's like, whoa, now the whole meta's fucking different. That's kind of fun. That's kind of fun. I'll give it that. But come the fuck on. Like, is Black Ops 4 going to be the same way where, like, all the guns are in supply drops, they're difficult to get, they're, like it takes forever to get them, or, like, and there's no actual rewards for the level up system that's already built into the game? Like, they haven't even talked about prestiging in Black Ops 4 yet, and I'm kind of concerned that they're just like, no, fuck that, dude, whatever, just, like, there's, like, a level system, and, like, you buy supply drops for cosmetics, and you just play our cool-ass game, dude. Like, I'm worried about that. I'm worried about that. COD World War II waters down World at War with more modern COD aspects. I don't think they did that. I think World at War is a pretty awful Call of Duty, but that's its own issue. Battlefield 5, fucking Battlefield 5 comes out, and it's like, look at all these cosmetics. Look at, you can change your character. Look at all these look at these guns, and you can put sights on these guns. Remember, sorry about our last game where we wouldn't let you do that. Now you can put sights on your guns. Is it historically accurate? No, but oh my god, at least you get to fucking do something. At least there's something for you to do. At least you can pick what your character looks like. Fuck, I mean, COD World War II pissed everything down its leg. Because it decided that it was just gonna... Its whole selling point was boots on ground. It's a boots on ground Call of Duty. Boots on ground does not make a Call of Duty good. Infinite Warfare is a really well laid out game. It has its flaws, and I could go off about those on a different podcast if you guys want me to. I could do a whole like 40-minute podcast just on Infinite Warfare. But the game has its decent progression system. It has some cool features, some cool gimmicks. I felt rewarded by playing it. And like by the end of that game's life cycle, I actually, to show my support, I bought supply drops for Infinite Warfare proudly. Because out of the last 4 Call of Duties, it was the most consumer friendly. And I played it enough to know. There were a couple supply drop guns that were annoying, but none of them actually statistically were overpowered in any way. But honestly, I bought supply drops only in that game to show my support. Because Advanced Warfare pissed me off. Black Ops 3 pissed me off. And now COD World War 2, although they have a nicer way to get DLC weapons with their weekly challenges, it's like, fuck, I mean, too little too late. Too little too fucking late. What would ruin Rainbow Six? I loved IW's handling of the players. They cared. If you played their game, they cared about you. They were the ones that started the community updates where they do like the weekly updates, letting people know what's going on in the game. They did patches very quickly. They gave you incentives. They fixed so many things. And I have played IW recently, and it still feels buttery smooth. There are some deaths that I don't feel like I deserve because of weird netcode, but it still feels nice and smooth, and it works. But what would ruin Rainbow Six? I think if Rainbow Six piles in, I think Rainbow Six will actually ruin itself if it piles in too many operators. And that's an unpopular opinion because I love the new operators. I love it when they add them. Even if I think they're overpowered or broken, it's a nice shift to the game. Even for me as like a newer player of the last 6 months. I just, whenever I think about like what could ruin Rainbow Five Siege is when they add like too many operators and they create a sense of option paralysis. You guys know what I'm talking about? Where like, who knows what you're gonna get? Who goddamn knows what you're gonna get? And you don't know what you want to play as. You don't know who to choose. And some operators will become obsolete because of other operators. Like, damn. So I think adding too many operators will be the death of Rainbow. What do you think of paying to play online on consoles? I'm fine with it because I get free games every month. And I get 4 free games every month. And in fact, this month I get Splinter Cell Conviction, which is a game I've never owned. And that's a $20 game. So I'm getting a $20 game for free when I log on my Xbox tonight. So that's, let's see, I pay $60 a year. And I'm getting a $20 game tonight. I got Phantom Pain. I have Worms. Not the infection, but I actually have the game, Worms. Sonic All-Stars Racing is really fucking fun. It's a pretty shitty kart racing game, but it's really fun to play with friends. I played that with my nephew this weekend. I have no problem paying for Xbox Live Gold because I never feel like I'm being shafted. And their service has been so consistent recently. Like, they had a hiccup the other day, but it didn't affect me. It affected a couple of my friends. But honestly, I do have some complaints, and I probably will be making a video about the Xbox UI being really slow recently. I don't know what they're doing to it. But, no, I have no problem paying for that. Splinter Cell Conviction isn't available yet on Live, isn't it? Somebody tweeted that they were able to download that, so maybe we'll see what happens. I don't want them. I also think if Rainbow Six Siege really wants to do better, and better than it is right now, I think it needs to redo the whole game. Ow, my fucking phone! What the damn? I felt it coming. Like my phone, like my screen turned on my phone. I'm like, oh no, it's about to scream. Okay, so like, the thing is, um, with Rainbow Six Siege, like I genuinely think they need to kind of overhaul the game soon because I don't want them to do a sequel. I want them to keep that game just alive. And I think they need to do big upgrades to the engine, massive updates, like a complete reinstall in the next couple of years. Is that a tall order? Hell yeah. Is that expensive? Sure shit. But ideally, that's what's going to happen. Because it still has a good amount of issues for being out for over 3 years. So, once you spend money on Echo and Habana for Rainbow Six, I really can't stop. I get rent, sure, but it's fun to play as much as I may rage. I really want to be successful. And yes, I spent money on Habana and Echo. Shut up. No, they're great. New operator idea. He can jump. Pogo stick. That's his code name is Pogo. And he just has a pogo stick and a 40 and like a fucking Desert Eagle, and he just bounces around the building. Ubisoft can't afford a new engine. Like, it's not even graphics. I just mean like do another Operation Health, but like 10 times better. Like be working in the background like Siege 2.0, and then you release it. I've seen games do that before, where games launch like Mafia. Mafia launched terribly, but now it looks better. It runs better. It has a whole new UI. It has a whole new. They even added new animations for stuff in Mafia, from what I heard. So, I think that'd be cool if they could do that. If they could, maybe not a whole new engine, but updating that one would be a really good idea. God, that'd be so great. Just like a big like 30 gigabyte update, and Rainbow Six is just like basically a whole new game. Same basic principles, but just so much cleaner and smoother. That's an ideal I hold dear to my heart. But part of the love about Rainbow Six Siege is that it's kind of shit in some areas. And I'm learning to love its shittiness and embracing the bullshit. If you guys watch Sir Swag, you guys know what that is. You gotta embrace the bullshit. I find free games on PSN not worth money, and you only get a fun game in 4 months, in my opinion. Yeah, I've heard that their games are of a varying level of quality. But Xbox's as well. The whole reason they did Operation Health is that they never had to do it again. Yeah, that's nice, but like if it fixed everything, then I'd be like, sure, but it clearly didn't, because there's still issues that are presenting themselves. I'm going to talk for about 5 more minutes, or 5 to 6 more minutes about, I don't know, 5 to 6, 10 more minutes. I'm not going to do Discord stuff tonight because my throat's starting to hurt. And I'm sorry about that. I've been letting you guys down on that on the Discord server, and I am sorry. Okay, but let me just say that when it comes to Rainbow Six's new thing where they instantly ban you for using slurs, I'm really conflicted about that, guys. And this is off topic from the rest of the podcast. But as long as we're talking about Rainbow Six, I need to talk about this. So, somebody said Nibba in the game chat. Typed in Nibba in the game chat. I don't know the context. We should be very clear about that. We don't know the context in which he typed it. If he called someone a Nibba, if he said fucking Nibba, or something like that, maybe that's bad. But Rainbow, he's like, I got banned for saying Nibba in the chat, and Rainbow Six basically wrote him back and was like, good. And it's like, no, guys. First of all, Nibba is not a slur. Nibba is a joking, it's a joke. It's a joke. It's a pacification of the word. It's so stupid. It's like saying, I got banned for saying HE double hockey sticks. Like, you're not saying the word. Nibba. Nibba is, mostly, at least where I saw it come from, was PewDiePie. That's the first place I ever saw it. And I'm sure he stole it because he's nothing about him as original. But Nibba is just, it's a pacification of nigga, which I think that saying the N-word, I think, like, if you went to a chat and called people nigger, that's not good. And I don't think you should do that. I really don't. That's not, because what, duh, you're gonna get fucking banned. Duh, you're gonna get banned if you say that. Like, even if you don't agree with it and you're not racist and you're a pure heart and you're just joking around, you know you don't say it. It's like, I don't think saying the N-word or any other slur makes you racist or toxic. Saying words alone does not make you the thing that the word may suggest. But I know not to go into the middle of my local Walmart and say, "Sup, niggers?" Like, I know not to say that. I know the contexts in which to use it, because context matters. It should make you uncomfortable if somebody just walks around talking like that. But in an online competitive game, for somebody to say nibba, which again is a pacification, it's a pacification, it's a joke. It's making fun of the word. It's making fun of people that say the word. It's making fun of the people that are so scared of the word that you'll lose your job if you utter it. Like, it's doing all of this. It's not anything to do with black people. It's not anything to do with racial insensitivity or racism. Are you kidding? So, Ubisoft, get with the times. Nibba is not an actual racial slur. And I bet I could go into your chat and say zipperhead and not get banned. In fact, my buddy Jingles here has Rainbow Six on his PC. And I would love it if he went in and said zipperhead and see what happens. We hold, I'm quoting the iDubbbz video with that one, because we hold all of these racial slurs at like a high level, but like the N-word has somehow surpassed all of it. None of my family were slave owners. I'm not one. I'm not racist. I don't believe in racial superiority. That shit's whack, dog. I don't like it. But the word is just the word. You say it in a joking context. God, I mean, that means you can't make 9/11 jokes. Pro-terrorist. Can't say the N-word. Pro-racism. Can't make a rape joke. That means you're a rapist. Like, come on. We are more than the sum of the words that we utter. Okay? It matters not what comes out of your mouth. It matters who you are. And that's why that's the reason you don't say these things, by the way. Is because the analogy of going in the middle of the Walmart and saying nigger, like, that's awful. Don't do that. Because they don't know who you are. They won't see the humor in it, and god damn it, they shouldn't. But, the idea that the mere uttering of the word or something that sounds like the word is a bannable offense is ridiculous to me. Like, obviously you don't say it because you know what's going to happen. Don't act surprised. But nibba, have we gotten to a point? Have we gotten to a point where we can't joke about words? We can't even joke about words. That's what nibba is. It's a joke about the word. So fucking hell. You can't joke about... Oh, the list of things we can't say and can't joke about that. The list of those things, again, that we can't say. You're not allowed to joke about that. You're not allowed to call this person this. You're not allowed to say this to this person. It's just silly. It's silly shit. It's like, oh, you said that word, now I know everything about you. Like, no, you fucking don't. You do not know goddamn shit about me. We can't hold words to such a high standard that they matter more than the people that say them. Obviously, certain things you don't say. God, I wouldn't go into a middle of a Walmart and say fuck. I don't want to make some uncomfortable, and I don't want them to think that I'm the kind of person that wants them to be uncomfortable. So you don't go around saying cunt, fuck, zipperhead, nigger, abortion. Like, you don't just don't go around saying shit that could start shit, or that makes you look like an idiot, or that makes you look rude. or controversial or frustrating. You don't do anything that could potentially negatively impact your environment. No shit. We know that. I have friends that can say the N-word all day, and I will not bat an eye about it. But then I'll hear someone else say it, and I'll go, ooh, don't. No, I have a friend that can say it 100 times. I don't care. I won't flinch once. Like I call my girlfriend. She's Hispanic. I call her my beaner. She's a beaner, and I've made more than enough flicking the. You get it. Stupid puns. So, but if someone else called her that, I'd be like, hey, come on. The context is. It's not even a double standard. When somebody talks to you, their entire being is talking to you. All of your past experiences with them is talking to you. All of who they are is speaking to you. Okay? All of somebody's life is talking to you when they talk to you. So yes, they can get away with calling you a racial slur or being derogatorily demeaning you jokingly. I don't know what I'm trying to really say here, but I know what I'm trying to say. I don't know the words to use. That's a better way to put it. But really, when someone just comes up to you and says something kind of outlandish, right? I swear all the time, but there's certain people when they swear, I'm just like, there's something different to it. There's a different context, right? So if you guys have a good friend and he makes racist jokes all the time, there's nothing wrong with that. Likely he's not racist, and real racism probably puts them off. That's why we joke about these types of things. It's almost to remind us about it. Humor's a great tool, or it's just a really good way to get your friends fucking really nervous for a minute. But if your friend can make racist jokes all the time, but then you meet a new person who says something kind of racist, and you're like, no. I need to go back to calling myself a honky. You have been banned for foul language by BattleEye. I get it. You don't go into an online game and say, fuck, cunt, nigger, fuck, shit, tits, fuck, ass, fuck. You don't do that. Obviously, that will be considered toxic because they don't know you. I get that. You don't do that. That's bad. Good Lord. Don't, dumbass. If you get banned for that, boo-hoo. But if you say nibba, and you start to people are getting banned for saying nibba, that's not even there's nothing. It's nothing. It's a joke. I don't know. I've said the N-word on my streams before and not gotten demonetized. So somebody's watched my videos at YouTube and realized the context in which I'm speaking. And if one of the people at YouTube are watching this stream right now, for whatever reason, thank you for noticing the context in which I speak on this platform. That does mean a lot. Fucking everybody hates everybody in this party. Everybody in this party. Wow, I'm not on my Xbox right now. Everybody in this chat, everybody watching this stream, everybody watching my channel, I'm going to say has a 99% chance of being against racism. Might some of them have bigotry, and maybe some of them have bad experiences with certain types of people. I don't know. That's a thing. But I'm going to say 99% of people you meet are going to be against racism. But I'm going to guess most of them, especially in my age group of you could say 15 to 25, I would say most of them aren't really against racist jokes. And that's an important intellectual distinction. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this stream, this podcast. We talked about grinding and what makes me want to sit and play a game. And yeah, I'm now going to go do things. I don't know what I'm going to do. I do need to get a video done for tomorrow. If I don't, then this will be uploaded instead. And thank you guys so much for watching and putting up with my nonsense, because I just wanted to get my vent out there, and straight up stream of consciousness is what I wanted to do. So I did it, and it was fun. So hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Thank you guys so much for showing up. Give me a round of applause. Why am I clapping? I'm gonna eat my fucking bar. I'm so hungry. I'm losing my train of thought. Later, Nubba. God, I was hungry. Bye, guys. Get out. Go away. Oh, Mom. That's right. Run, you cowards. No problem, Josh the Sniper. See you guys. I gotta drink this water for a second. Well, if you guys won't leave, then I will. See you when I see you guys. Goodbye.